the pick that I really wanted to get to before we get to this stuff off the court, off and in the Zoom was obviously LaMelo. I think James Wiseman is. We kind of know what James Wiseman's role is going to be. I think he wasn't even the biggest Warrior story of the night. But LaMelo Ball going to the Hornets, playing with Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier, who I nearly almost forgot about. But he's in Charlotte, and we're actually going to get to see him play because I don't think we've really gotten to see LaMelo play outside of those games in Lithuania, some big baller basketball league, which I really wanted to go to before it was shut down, just to see what it was like. And then the Australian basketball league. We hear that he's a great player. I don't know if he's really a great player. Have y'all been able to see him play at all in like the last 2 or 3 years?
I've seen bits and pieces. Like, he looks very similar to a better Lonzo. I mean, he looks good. Like, the big whole thing about him is the fact that he's been playing in like pro leagues for this entirety of the time. And you know, with guys like Luka and Porzingis and Jokic and how successful they've been in the league, they think that maybe he can translate what he has. Of course, the big problem is he can't shoot. Like, he's 25% from three, and that may not improve. We don't know yet. Lonzo's shot is still to be determined. It's a lot, but I'm just excited for this LaVar Ball versus Michael Jordan matchup. We finally gonna get this, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for LaVar versus everybody who doubted him. That's gonna be interesting. But I think we're gonna find out if he can play pretty soon because you know, in practice he gonna have a lot of can't go back going. You know, playing against him, Devontae Graham being most improved, and then Terry Rozier being from Youngstown. You know, gonna have some hard practices, but. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing about shooting is at the lower levels, it's really about free throw percentage, and I don't think his free throw percentage was that high, if I'm not mistaken. Is it's more correlated to like 3-point attempts and also like free throw percentage. So I think he's not necessarily the greatest free throw shooter. So that's kind of where it goes south for me. But I mean, my thing is he's just been used to taking any shot he wants, and like I don't think that's gonna play in the NBA. He's just been used to taking shots for taking shots' sake. You know, and that just goes back to Chino Hills. I'm not saying he's the same player he was in like Chino Hills, but he takes I mean, from what the highlights I've seen, he chucks up a lot of threes for somebody who's not that great at 3-point shooting.
I think for one, to touch on your point about free throws, I never understood why that's. I guess I would have to talk to more NBA players to understand why that's such an issue for some players, why they can't shoot free throws. Because I was like, even like for me as a kid just playing, like that was the one thing. My mom was like, you got to learn how to shoot free throws. They call them free throws for a reason. They're free. Like you literally get to stand out there. No one is guarding you. Just shoot. So like as an NBA player, I would like to get like more information on like what like hinders an NBA players from shooting well from the free throw line. Because it's not that Lonzo can't shoot. He can't do it consistently. And then he takes a lot of bad shots. Or at least we've seen him take a lot of bad shots in the clips that we've seen. But I think the one thing that LaMelo has that Lonzo had is we've heard all about his ability to create for other people, to be able to pass the ball. And I think that's going to be something they're going to need. Because when I think of Terry Rozier, I don't necessarily think of a great distributor. Devontae Graham, in the times that I've seen him, I don't think of him as a great distributor. So if he can get in there and create for other people, I think that will be a huge benefit. And then if he ends up being a great offensive player, then so be it. But I think his job is going to be coming in to create for other people. And as much as we've seen him do different things, or we've seen him in the spotlight, it feels like he's grown up. It feels like the entire family in a way has grown up. And I feel like that may be a role he's more willing to take as he gets older. And from all reports, contrary to what we hear Anthony Edwards say, it sounds like he really does love playing basketball. Aside from all of the madness, it does seem like he really enjoys playing basketball. And I think that's a credit to him. And it's a credit to LaVar Ball, who has evolved. He's not talking as much. He's kind of fallen back a bit, but he's still there. You still see him. If you saw the hat that he was wearing, he's still LaVar Ball. He's just doing it in a different way. And while I didn't necessarily agree with him taking out LiAngelo in the incident with his friend and Lonzo's money, I think those are the two big mistakes that he's made. But other than that, I'm not really mad at him because taking him out of, as we saw with RJ Hampton and some other people, taking them out of the college basketball system isn't necessarily going to hurt your draft stock. I don't think Lonzo's play and development as a player has been affected by it. Lonzo's the player that I think he was going to be. And LiAngelo, I feel should have gotten a college degree from UCLA, but that was a family decision or a LaVar decision, and he also stole out of a store in China at 6'8". I don't know how the fuck he thought he was going to get away with that, but we are here, and I feel like LaVar deserves credit for developing 3 young men. And I've heard people compare him to Joe Jackson. I think that's kind of messed up because Joe Jackson beat the hell out of those kids, and we haven't heard LaVar Ball do that. Hopefully he hasn't done that. But I think he's developed these kids and he's giving them good advice. I heard him say he told LaMelo, don't be out here dating IG models and whatnot, and found out that he's dating an IG model. But that's neither here nor there. He's done great things with these kids, and while he's made mistakes, I think parents make mistakes and they're people. And as long as his kids are good with it, then he should be good. He should be good with everybody else.
The one mistake he made marketing these kids, though, was this. He wanted to sell some shoes, but he got passers for, sons. Ain't nobody trying to buy the bounce pass person anymore, you know what I'm saying? Magic had a shoe, yeah, but people ain't trying to, but he had Converse, that's different. You're not, ain't nobody trying to buy no. I'm trying to think of great passers that had a shoe. It's not a lot of great passers. I mean, I guess CP3 had a shoe, but he could score. But he was Jordan brand. Them ain't CP3s.
So you weren't trying to cop them Rondos back in the day, bro?
Nah. Rondo's not, not selling shoes. You got a whole bunch of distributors. You need a score to sell a shoe. But oh well.
Yeah. I mean, you can't knock 2 out of 3 kids in the top 3 of a draft like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully they can get it done. I'm really rooting for LaMelo. I like LaMelo as a figure in sports. Just I think he kind of got to see all of it. He got to see the good, the bad, and that was the benefit of him being the youngest. And LaVar always said that he's going to be the best of the 3, and we'll see if he could do it. I do think he needs to put on some weight because he is kind of skinny for his size. But hopefully he doesn't, have a De'Aaron Fox moment like Lonzo did. But we'll see. But to the stuff